This model M2000, this is the Model 76, other similar models to that. If you have the Model M2000, you are going to get started just as is, as you see it here. With the Model 76 and others, you're going to have to remove the cover first before you remove the spout. We address that in another video if you'd like to take a look at that before you get started here. One thing you're going to need before you get started here is some plumber's grease. You can get that from us here at Dishmaster or from any other hardware or home improvement store. It is what you want to use to lubricate your faucet. I know you've got WD-40 at the house, but it is not going to get the job done. So take my word for it and get some plumber's grease. Okay, if you've got the Model 2000, you do not have to turn the water off under your sink to make this repair, but if you leave the water turned on, make sure you don't bump the lever. You're going to get a big surprise, make a big mess. To remove the spout, you're just going to unscrew this chrome knurled nut at the base of the spout. You should not need to use any tools to do that, but if it is too tight to loosen just with your fingers, make sure you wrap it in a rag or something like that to protect the finish before you put tools on it. Once you have this nut loose, all you should need to do is just pull up on the spout to remove it from the faucet, and then from there you're ready to remove the diverter assembly for lubrication and cleaning. Okay, with the Model 76 or a similar faucet, once you've got the cover removed, all you need to do to remove the spout on this faucet is to loosen this knurled brass ring at the base of the spout. It is hidden under the cover, so if for some reason you have to put a tool on it, you shouldn't have to worry about hurting the finish or anything like that. But just loosen that ring, and once you've got it loose, the spout should pull straight up off of the faucet and you're ready to move on cleaning and lubricating the diverter assembly. Once you have the spout removed from the faucet, you're going to push up on the diverter rod with one thumb and then pull on the knob with your other hand and turn it counterclockwise. And you should feel the diverter rod catch in the spout, and that'll help hold the diverter rod still so that you can unscrew the knob. Once you've unscrewed the knob, pull the rod assembly out of the bottom of the spout. Once you have the rod assembly out of the spout, you want to make sure that you have all the pieces came out with it. That includes the rod and the diverter valve on the bottom of the rod. There should also be the diverter spring, a hard black plastic piece called the seal retainer, and two little flat seals called diverter seals. You do want to make sure that you get both of those seals out of the spout. Once in a while they will stick up in the spout, and the easiest way to get those out is to use a paper clip to fish them out of there, or maybe even have to poke them out from the top. Once you've got that disassembled, use a soft damp cloth to clean the rod. If there's anything really built up on it that's stubborn coming off, you can use some white vinegar and maybe soak it to help clean it off. Don't use anything abrasive or harsh to scrub the rod that might scratch the surface of it. Once you have everything clean, you're going to use some of your plumber's grease and apply some of that grease to the surface of the rod itself. Okay, make sure you get the whole rod lubricated. And then you're also going to apply some of that grease to each of the diverter seals, and make sure you get the outside and the inside of the seals both lubricated. Once you've got that done, you're going to put stuff back together. First you replace the spring, then replace the seal retainer. One end of the seal retainer is smaller than the other. Make sure the smaller end goes down into the spring. And then you're going to replace both of the diverter seals onto the rod. Once you have that reassembled, you're going to put it back up into the spout and push it all the way up in so the rod comes out the top. And then you're going to replace the diverter knob back onto the rod. Once you've got that tight, you can pull up on the knob and twist it a little bit more. The rod will be held in place by some notches in the spout and will let you finish tightening the knob. Okay, last thing here, you're ready to put the spout back onto the faucet, and before you do that, a couple last spots to lubricate. One of them is the O-ring on the base of the spout to make sure that everything's going to swivel good once it's back together. And then just so it goes back together a little more smoothly, you should also lubricate the threads on the body of the faucet. So pull up on your diverter knob, and while you're holding it up, push the spout back down into the body of the faucet. And once it's all the way down so that the red ring is seated against the body, tighten the spout retaining nut back down onto the body. And you are all finished.